The room buzzed with life, a medley of clinking glasses, laughter, and soft jazz from a live band tucked into the corner of the upscale social club. Mei adjusted the hem of her navy cocktail dress, her heels clicking softly on the polished wooden floor as she followed Mariah and Amber to their table. Mariah grinning, "This place is packed tonight. Perfect for scoping out the scene." Amber playfully elbowing Mei, "Not that Mei ever scopes. She's too busy sipping her overpriced cocktails and acting like she's above it all." Mei rolling her eyes, "I am above it all. Some of us come here for the ambience, not for whatever this is." Amber and Mariah exchanged knowing smirks as the three of them sat down. Mei reached for the drink menu, scanning it with practiced ease, but her attention drifted when the door opened and a man walked in. He was tall, broad-shouldered, and exuded an effortless confidence. His tailored suit hinted at a body built for more than just sitting at a desk. His skin glowed under the soft lighting, and his eyes scanned the room with a calm assurance that made him stand out in the crowd. Mei's gaze lingered for a moment longer than she intended. Amber noticing, "Oh ho, what's this? Did our little ice queen just thaw?" Mei snapping her head back, "What? No. I was just..." "Mariah, you were totally staring." Mei blushing, "I wasn't staring. I just noticed him." Amber leaning in conspiratorially, "Noticed what? His jawline? His shoulders? Or the fact that he's drop-dead gorgeous?" Mei defensively, "I mean, he's kind of handsome. In a rugged way." Mariah grinning wickedly, "Oh, it's on now. Mei thinks someone is handsome. Amber, you know the rules. You've got to go talk to him." Mei laughing nervously, "No way. You're insane." Amber, "What's the worst that could happen? He ignores you. Big deal. You're Mei Yen. You've faced scarier things than a man with nice shoulders." Mariah nudging Mei, "Come on. Just a quick hello. We dare you." They hesitated, her heart thudding in her chest. It wasn't like her to approach someone, let alone someone who looked as put together as this man. But the teasing smirks on her friends' faces were too much to bear. Mei grumbling, "Fine. But if this goes horribly, I'm never listening to you two again." Amber and Mariah giggled as Mei stood, smoothing down her dress. She picked up her glass of white wine for courage and made her way across the room, weaving through the crowd until she stood in front of him. He noticed her immediately, his dark eyes locking onto hers with quiet interest. Eric smiling, "Well, hello. To what do I owe the pleasure?" His voice was deep, smooth, and carried just the right amount of warmth. Mei suddenly felt like all her words had fled her brain. Mei awkwardly, "Hi. I'm Mei." Eric raised an eyebrow, his smile growing as he extended a large hand. Eric. Nice to meet you, Mei." His hand was warm, his grip firm but not overwhelming. Mei realized she was still holding onto it a second too long and quickly pulled back, laughing nervously. "Mei, sorry, I don't usually do this. My friends dared me to come over." Eric chuckling, So I'm a dare, huh? Should I feel flattered or suspicious?" Mei smiling despite herself, maybe a little of both. Eric laughed, a rich sound that seemed to put her at ease. He gestured to an empty stool at the bar. "Eric, well, if you're here, why not stay for a bit? Tell me about these friends of yours who like to dare people into conversations." Mei hesitated, glancing back at Amber and Mariah, who were watching with barely concealed glee. She turned back to Eric, his inviting smile melting away her nerves. Mei sitting down, "All right. But don't let this go to your head. It's just a drink." Eric grinning, "Just a drink. Got it." As Mei took the empty stool beside Eric at the sleek marble bar, she felt her pulse quicken. Up close, Eric was even more striking. His dark eyes had a depth that seemed to take in everything without judgment, and his relaxed smile hinted at an easy confidence. He swirled the amber liquid in his glass, his gaze steady on her, waiting for her to speak first. Eric playfully, "So, tell me what's the prize for this dare? Fame? Glory? Bragging rights with your friends?" Mei smiling, a bit shy, "Survival, mostly. If I didn't come over, they'd never let me live it down. You know how friends can be." Eric chuckling, "I do. Mine would probably have done the same except they'd bet money on how badly I'd mess it up." Mei tilting her head, "You mess it up? I find that hard to believe." Eric grinning, "You'd be surprised. I have my moments. He set his glass down and turned toward her slightly, giving her his full attention. They felt both exposed and oddly flattered under his gaze. She instinctively tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. Eric, so, what do I owe this? Survival mission? You're not exactly blending and you seem like the kind of woman who doesn't need dares to start a conversation. Mei raised an eyebrow, her confidence starting to return in the face of his charm. Mei, and you seem like the kind of man who says things like that often. Eric laughed, a rich, warm sound that made her stomach flip. Eric, fair. But honestly, I'm glad you came over. Social clubs can be, well, social, but half the people here are just networking. It's rare to have a real conversation. Mei curious, and you're not here to network. Eric, not tonight. My friend dragged me out here to celebrate something, but he wandered off the second he saw the dance floor. Mei amused, some friend. Eric leaning in slightly, yeah, but I'm not complaining anymore. Otherwise, I wouldn't have met you. Mei felt her cheeks heat, but she quickly masked it with a sip of her wine. She decided to push back, testing his easy confidence. Mei smirking, you're laying it on a bit thick, don't you think? Eric feigning innocence, am I? I thought I was being subtle. Mei playfully, well, subtle isn't your strong suit. Eric leaned back, laughing again, and Mei felt a small thrill run through her. His laughter wasn't forced, it was genuine, the kind that put her at ease. Eric, you've got me there. But I like to think honesty is more my thing. Mei raising an eyebrow, honesty. Okay, mister. Honest. What's your first impression of me? Eric paused, studying her for a moment. The playful glint in his eyes softened, replaced by something more thoughtful. Eric, you're sharp. Witty. The kind of woman who probably has half the room intimidated, and the other half trying to figure out how to get your attention. But there's something else, too. Mei leaning forward slightly, intrigued, something else. Eric, yeah. You're guarded. Like you're waiting to see if people are worth letting in. Mei blinked, caught off guard by his answer. She hadn't expected him to look past the surface so quickly. She searched for a response but found herself momentarily speechless. Eric smiled, as though sensing her surprise. Eric, did I get it wrong? Mei softly, no. You didn't. The air between them shifted, the playful teasing giving way to something quieter, more sincere. Mei felt a small tug in her chest, a sense that this man might be different from the others she'd met in places like this. Eric breaking the silence with a smile, so, what about you? What's your first impression of me? Mei tilted her head, pretending to think for a moment, though her heart was already racing. Mei grinning, confident. Maybe a little too confident. But not in a bad way. Eric nodding, I'll take that as a win. Their conversation continued, flowing effortlessly. They talked about work, Mei teasing him about his vague description of his job in logistics, Eric marveling at her ability to juggle corporate life with personal passion projects. They shared stories about their families, skimming just deep enough to hint at their roots without giving too much away. Mei found herself laughing more than she had in weeks, and Eric's eyes lit up each time she did. Eventually, Amber and Mariah appeared, waving Mei over. She glanced back at them, then turned to Eric. Mei reluctantly, looks like my time's up. Eric, well, I guess this is the part where I ask if I can see you again. Mei teasing, that depends. Are you usually this smooth, or is tonight a special occasion? Eric grinning, special occasion. I promise. He handed her a business card, his name and number printed in sleek, minimalist font. Mei hesitated, then took it, her fingers brushing his slightly. As she walked back to her friends, she could feel his eyes on her, and for the first time in a long time, she felt something she hadn't expected, hope. Mei approached the table, her heels clicking softly against the polished floor. She could feel Mariah and Amber's eyes locked on her, their grins wide with anticipation. By the time she slid back into her chair, the teasing had already begun. Amber and Mariah were practically bouncing with excitement. Amber, well? How'd it go? Mei shrugging nonchalantly, he's nice. Just a drink, like I said. Mariah, And the way you're smiling has nothing to do with it. Mei trying to suppress her grin, I don't know what you're talking about. Amber grinning, look at her. That's the walk of a woman who just had a moment. Mariah leaning forward, eyes sparkling, spill. Everything. Did he ask for your number? Did you give him yours? Don't leave out a single detail. Mei trying to act casual, it was just a conversation. Nothing major. Amber mocking disbelief, nothing major. Girl, we saw the way you two were looking at each other. That was major. Mariah, yeah, Mei. You were practically glowing when you walked back over here. Did he say something romantic? Or was it all business? Mei rolling her eyes, but unable to hide her smile, it wasn't romantic. We talked about normal things, work, friends, stuff like that. Amber raising an eyebrow, normal things don't make people blush like that. Come on, give us something juicy. Mei giving in slightly, fine. He did ask to see me again. And he gave me his card. She placed the sleek business card on the table, and Mariah snatched it up before Amber could, reading it aloud. Mariah in a dramatic voice, Eric Johnson. Logistics and Operations Specialist. She wiggled her eyebrows. Sounds fancy. Also, his handwriting on this is way too neat. That's got to be a good sign. Amber leaning over to grab the card, oh, let me see. Amber examined the card, flipping it over and holding it up to the light as though inspecting it for hidden messages. Amber, oh, minimal design. Man with taste. I like him already. Mei snatching the card back, laughing, alright, that's enough. You're acting like I just got engaged or something. Mariah grinning, hey, we're just trying to help. You never know, this could be the start of something. Amber, exactly. You've been all work and no play for way too long. And now, Mr. Handsome over there might be the perfect distraction. Mei playfully defensive, who says I need a distraction? I'm perfectly fine on my own. Mariah teasing, oh, we know, Miss Independent. But even you can't deny that the guy is seriously good looking. And judging by the way he was staring at you, I think he'd agree. Mei glanced back toward the bar, where Eric was still seated. He caught her looking and gave her a small, knowing smile. Mei quickly turned back to her friends, her cheeks flushing. Amber laughing, oh my god, he totally saw you. You're so into him. Mei trying to act nonchalant, I'm not into him. He's just nice. That's all. Mariah, hmm. And I'm just here for the free drinks. Amber giggling, face it, Mei. You're smitten, and we are living for it. Mei shaking her head, but smiling, you two are impossible. Despite their teasing, Mei felt a flutter of excitement she couldn't quite ignore. She tucked the business card into her clutch, her fingers lingering on it for a moment longer than necessary. Thank you for listening to If at All Modern. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, share and hit that notification bell for more from this series.